Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Steven again. Long time no see. And this time I have one of my good magic friends here.
Hi, I'm John.
We're going to be opening up a box of M15. The big Garuk, the Kush Garuk, has made his appearance finally at last. A lot of anticipation for him. Very exciting set, very nostalgic set, actually. They go into a lot of history of magic. I, for one, am pretty excited with all the flavor that they threw into this.
There's definitely a lot of different things to expect from this set. I'm excited to see how it plays out. Guruk was actually the first Planeswalker I ever had as a card, so it's kind of interesting to see him evolve through Magic.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, because he's had a really interesting storyline
Yeah.
and really evolved in Innistrad. And now we're seeing the end result of Liliana's curse on him. If you want to know more about the history of Karoo, go to Magic's website. They have tons and tons of background story for Karoo. In this set, he appears as the villain, and he's actually hunting the other planeswalkers. So this is the first set they've ever released where there are 6 planeswalkers you can get. And he's also the first one to just pop a planeswalker for plus. So hopefully we pull one. Hey, hopefully he's a foil too. And be sure to check out our other videos on YouTube. Subscribe below. And like us on Facebook. We have contests all the time, giving away free packs. So like us on there and follow us. We also are on Google Plus now. And be sure to visit our website, www.collectorstore.com, where we do have the boxes on sale right now for $89.99, which is a really good deal. I don't think I can find that cheaper anywhere else.
Definitely not. And if you do go over $100, don't forget to enter the code for free shipping.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and break into this.
Whilst he's opening that up, a couple of things to point out. For our launch promo, we have in Guruk's Wake, which is a 9 mana, 7 colorless, 2 black, and that will destroy all creatures and planeswalkers you don't control. A lot of different possibilities for that card. For the buy a box promo for the store, with Goblin Rabble Master, 3 converted mana, 2 colorless, 1 red. A lot of possibilities with goblins and tokens.
Yeah, I saw someone using this at the pre-release. This is a very good shot right now. You can see it at the end of the video. I'll upload an image. And this was really hard. Each grab a pack and see what we get.
Take my Johnny.
What we got here? Oh, and that's another thing too. M15 is the first set with the alternative card work. There's some history behind that, some story behind that. What did you get?
Well, what's great about this set is that there's a lot of good reprints, but there's also a lot of good new cards. A lot of stuff we've seen before, Lava Axe, Mind Sculpt, but the Witch is familiar. I believe Marked by Honor, is that new?
I want to say that's a reprint from something old, but there's a lot of things that get +2/+2 vigilance enchantments. So.
I know my uncommons, Gravedigger, Brawler's Plate, and Quickler.
Quickling.
Some reprints, but this is a new one, and this one's going to see a lot of different play. I'm thinking Sliver Hive. That's the land that gives color, any color for any sliver card that you play.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this one. I think it's good for a lot of different options. Standard, long term. Limited is going to be kind of hard for it.
Yeah, I don't see that being limited. But what I do see though is if you are a Sliver fan, the next few months is going to be heaven for you because N14 is still legal, which is the reintroduction of the slivers. And I know a lot of Sliver fans don't like the new slivers because they only affect your own and there's some flavor problems with them. But they're still slivers and they're still really powerful. So I think any sliver deck would be happy to have that card.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. So an aggressive mining, it's a 4-drop enchantment that's red. It says you can't play lands, and you can sacrifice a land to draw 2 cards, but you can only do this once each turn. That sounds joyous.
I think if you play that card right, you can get a lot of good value out of it. I saw an interesting deck developed the other day about the idea of drawing a lot of cards using Jace and I can't remember the other Planeswalker, but that card along with any card that allows you to return an enchantment to your hand, so you can play that and then get a lot of good options going on the field.
Yeah, they introduced a lot of green cards in this set that deal with bouncing stuff back, so that might be a possibility.
Yeah, if you play that card just right, I think it has good good value for you.
The only problem is that you still have to sacrifice a land. So really, I see this being more played in late game, and when you're running out of cards to actually cast, and you have so much mana, you have nothing to do with it, then it's really good. But again, though, I don't see it seeing much play. What's interesting, though, is all the rares in M15 have this new cool holographic sticker. I know you can't see it right now, but again, I'll do a close-up shot later. The history behind that real quick is because they are trying to combat against the Chinese forgery that's going on right now. It's gotten so far out of hand that they were forced to do this with the cards. And it's funny because Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually has already been doing this. But that's because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is designed and printed in Japan, which is next door neighbors to China. So they kind of already knew that was going to happen to Magic eventually, and it finally has. So, oh, one more side note about aggressive mining. This card is actually designed by Marcus Persson. Did I pronounce that last name? Persson.
Yeah.
Persson. I know he's famous. I'm sure many of you have heard of him. I, for one, am not. So, if you can post below who he is, that'd be awesome.
Okay, now I already have one comment in here that I'm excited about. I have never had an opportunity to play with it, but I'm hoping to now. Ornithopter.
Yeah, that's a reprint. Yeah, that card is so much fun. See here. I got for interesting uncommon Wall of Limbs, which is a new black zombie wall. I think it's fun. I don't think it's going to see much play, but it's fun. And then my rare is Return to the Ranks. It's a convoke card that allows you to return creatures with converted mana cost 2 or less. It's an X cost, so of course, the more you pay, the more creatures you get to bring back.
And I love Convoke. I'm glad it was brought back. It was a lot of fun to play with on the pre-release, and I'm looking forward to playing this more.
Yeah, I was really hoping that they'd bring back Call of the Conclave, which is a $20+ card right now with Convoke. But I actually own one, so at the same time I'm kind of mixed feelings about it because my value wasn't killed, but it would have been fun to play with.
Now, here's one of the new slivers that we have, the belligerent sliver. Sliver creatures you control can be blocked except by 2 or more creatures.
Yeah.
So, I think in a good sliver deck, there's a lot of different possibilities for a lot of different types of slivers. It's all depending on what kind of format you're going to go for quick.
Yeah, and what's really nice about the slivers, that sliver in particular, is that it's just a 3-drop 2/2. So the slivers that they made were pretty cheap.
And then my rare is going to be Necromancer's Stockpile. Discard a creature card, draw a card. If the discarded card was a zombie card, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token back onto the battlefield, tapped. Now, there are a lot of zombies right now in the M15.
Not that many high-end ones I can think of. They've made a lot of black enchantment cards that come to mind, but not really big, scary zombie creatures like you might have seen in Innistrad or Dark Ascension.
So do you think for our next block, we can expect some more zombies maybe?
With the flavor of the next block, I don't think so. I think it's going to more be towards Dark Warriors, is my opinion, because as you've seen, fans out there, the artwork that they've released so far, there's a lot of warriors. So I think we're going to be dealing with more dark humans than we will zombies. But who knows?
Regardless.
Wall of Mulch. Okay, that's the opposite of big money. I got a Hornet's Nest and a Foil Forest.
Now, I think I won overall. I have Negate.
Okay, well that beats my Wall of Mulch.
Actually, this is one I'm kind of happy to see reprinted, the Preeminent Captain.
Yeah.
That's 3 converted mana cost for the white Kithkin soldier. A lot of soldier opportunities there.
Yeah, especially with the next block, with the flavor it might be, that card could go for some serious money if a nice soldier deck tops. Now, what I really like though is Hornet's Nest. It kind of is one of those standalone, really good cards in my opinion. It shuts down burn decks, for sure. But we might see that get rotated out anyway. And I mean, it's just a 0/2 defender that costs 3, but whenever he's dealt damage, any kind of damage, you get that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and death touch onto the battlefield. So if they want to lightning bolt him for 3, you still get 3 tokens, even though he only has 2 hit points.
And that slowed me down big time in pre-release. I had one person who played it, and I thought I was going to get it, and then they pulled a trick on me and were able to keep it in the game and still get the hornets out.
Yeah.
And flying hornets with death touch, really scary.
Yeah, like, you're going to need a detention sphere. But that's being rotated out too, so. But you still have things like Anger of the Gods and Cloud Blight, which will be effective against them, but still, it's good card advantage. Might makes right. I don't think I've seen this one yet. It's a 6-drop enchantment uncommon. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control each creature on the battlefield with the greatest power, gain control of target creature an opponent controls, untap it against haste. Mike does make it right.
If you can make that work, it can be a boss, but
that can be really good.
I have that.
Spectral Ward?
Spectral, yeah.
Yeah, I bet you would. 5-drop enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from all colors. This effect doesn't remove aurors.
Now,
yeah.
This is one that you were excited about. I'm kind of curious why. Dark Steel Citadel.
Okay, I was excited about that card because someone really wanted to trade me for it. So,
okay.
But I do also am really excited about it. I do love it a lot because it reminds me of the good old days of the Mirrodin block. Now, granted, if you were playing Standard back then, it was a nightmare with Arcbound Ravager and Affinity decks. But being younger back then, it's just nice, childhood memories. So.
And my rare in this pack is going to be the Phyto Titan, which was one of the 5 example cards for the pre-release.
Yeah.
It's also going to be in the regular intro decks. So it's a good solid card. It's a 6-drop. When it dies, it returns to the battlefield tapped in its owner's control at the beginning of his or her next upkeep.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. And it's already a 7/2.
7/2, yeah.
It's going to die pretty easily, but he's probably going to take something down with them.
The only concern really is going to be exile.
Yeah, which there's that red card in, I think it's in M15, that deals 2 damage and exile that creature if it dies. So, there's cards like that, but I doubt they'll see much play. Alright, so for my rare in the next set, I got Ether Sprouts, 5-drop instant. For each attacking creature, its owner puts it on the top or bottom of his or her library. It's cute. I don't think it's going to see much play. I'd rather just play like a Frog or something, because that only costs 1. I can play it more consistently, but it's fine.
I don't know, if you can wipe a board basically with that.
They have to all-out attack you, but yeah, you could punish them for all-out attacking you. Yeah. Might see it in a Prophet deck, Prophet Akufix deck, because that'd be really playable.
Yeah. Well, and it's not targeting, so hexproof, or there's not too much that's going to really stop it except for a counterspell, I would say.
Yeah.
What I've got, one of the uncommon cards, the Paragon of Eternal Wilds, which is the green Paragon.
Yeah.
Each color has a Paragon in this set, which gives other creatures of the same color a +1/+1 with another added benefit for mana activated costs.
Yeah, I actually pulled 2 of those in my first set. One for blue and one for the green.
And I like the Paragons. The Paragons I was able to play more effective.
Yeah.
My rare, I love this card. Polymorphous Jest. Basically, it turns, for 3 mana, it turns all of your opponent's creatures into 1/1 blue frogs until the end of turn. Play this with, later in the game, you play this with...
Is that instant speed?
It's instant.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, blanking on that card, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the one that turns 1 creature into a frog. Now you can turn all of them into frogs. It's raining frogs. To one you up even more, I got a foil rare in my pack. Gurkish on Aki Ancient. Big fat orc spirit, that'll be his name.
I think you nailed the name. Don't worry about it.
4-drop legendary creature, 4/3. Whenever you activate an ability of an artifact, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay a mountain. If you do copy that ability. Make sure you target for the copy. That's really cool. And that's another one of those historic cards from way back when. So.
Okay, first of all, Black Beast token with Death Touch. I really hope we pull Garrick. He's going to have a lot of fun.
I pulled an advertisement of Guru, so, you know.
That's the same.
Okay. Well, it has value.
Okay, this is another white card that I'm really excited about. This is Spirit Bonds. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1 white mana. If you do, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying on the battlefield. Then, if you sacrifice a spirit, target non-spirit creature gains indestructible until end of turn.
Because, you know, white doesn't have enough self-protection cards as is. You need to give them more.
White needs all the help it can get, and I'm thankful for that.
And you know what? And we should give it creatures while it's protecting itself. Because, you know, that's not broken. I don't know how many times I've lost a game because you try to block or you try to do something fancy and all of a sudden, hey, look, I'll give it indestructible until end of turn.
Protection from the color.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then I'll scry, by the way, while I'm at it. Soul of Zendikar. Welcome back, Zendikar. 6-drop, 6/6 with Reach Avatar. You can pay 5, 2 mountains and 3 colorless to put a 3/3 green beast creature token into the battlefield, and you can pay for the same amount and exile this from your graveyard to get a 3/3 green beast creature token. I don't think that's that great, to be honest. I don't know the Zendikar block that well. Also, I don't know the storyline too well, so I don't know how nostalgic that card really is.
There are 6 different souls right now, mythic rare for this set. Each of them with different abilities based on the planet they're associated with and varying levels of play. Soul of Zendikar mainly not for standard or sealed, maybe actually for sealed. I can see for sealed, but standard play maybe not as much. But there's Soul for New Phyrexia, which is an artifact soul.
Yeah, hopefully we'll pull it so we can show it to you guys.
I love that card.
Oh my gosh, that card is so good. That's probably the best soul out of all of them, in my opinion. But yeah, so if you didn't notice either, they made a soul for each block in the past 6 blocks. So that's why they picked what they picked. I got another one of your Paragons, Paragon the New Dawn, for white. And then my rare this time is Stormtide Leviathan. Another crappy blue creature that is so huge you'll never summon him in standard. And he has Island Walk. All lands are islands in addition to the other types. Oh, so unblockable. Creatures without flying or Island Walk can't attack. Now that's good. That's not bad. Only problem is he costs 8. He's an 8/8. And Gyro's Downfall will still kill him. So keep that in mind.
I've got a couple different uncommons that I'm actually kind of excited to see. First one's the Altec Bloodseeker. For just 2 mana, I can put down a 2/1 creature, and whenever an opponent creature an opponent control dies, this card gets +2/+0 and gains first strike and haste until end of turn. I can see that working out very well for you. The Rose Gloves. I wasn't even aware of this card.
Oh my gosh.
Whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. 2-drop and it's 2 to equip. That's a good equipment.
Yeah.
This I'm not so sure about. Mercurial Pretender. Basically, the card enters as a copy of another creature on the battlefield, with the added bonus of paying 4 mana to return the card to your hand, so that can drop down to something else later. One thing that I see as kind of being an issue is this is already a 5-drop.
Yeah.
So you're hoping that you can get to it, and you're hoping that your opponent has a good creature card that's worth copying.
And you hope that they don't have something to kill your creature. And that 4 mana can also protect him in case they drop something like target him with Gyro's Downfall.
True.
But you can't do it that turn unless you have 9 mana. And at that point, there's a lot better stuff you can be playing.
But I did get a dragon token.
Shaman of Spring. Okay, it's just a common 4-drop. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. There's got to be more reason to it because it's 4-drop. Just to draw a card. And it's only a 2/2. I don't see why they printed it that way. What'd you get?
My rare is actually a pretty good one, I'd say. The Obelisk of Erd.
Oh, yeah.
One, it's 6 mana but has combo, and then when you enter the battlefield, you name a creature type, and creatures with the chosen type get +2/+2.
Which is really nice for white weenie decks. So those spirit tokens and things like that, soldier tokens, or soldier creatures.
And then another good white card, the Kinsvale Skirmisher, and limited particularly this with the preeminent captain can see some good play.
Oh yeah.
So you can make that go off. You're going to get some extra creatures out on the battlefield, which is always a nice opportunity.
And you can give the captain +1/+1, so then you have a 3/3 with first strike. And I got it's my rare Chord of Calling. It's a 3/4 and an X with Convoke, and it says search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less, and put it into the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Now this is the card I mentioned. I was having mixed feelings about them reprint or not, and I said they didn't. Wow. So that means this is a $20 card.
Yep.
Wow. No, you can't. I'll take it. Actually, I won't take it. It'll be at the collector store. So come visit us in St. Charles, Missouri area.
Nice save.
Make up for my mistake earlier. Back to nature. Destroy all enchantments. Okay. You do that. Oh, look what I got. I got an Avacyn. Guardian Angel. It is a, well, we all know who Avacyn is. But basically, this is the watered-down version of her. She's just a 5/4 with Flying Vigilance. And you tap 2 to prevent all damage that be dealt to another creature this turn from a color of your choice. Or you can tap 7 and prevent all damage that be dealt to target player by sources of the color of your choice. And she costs 5 to play. Enough said.
I was kind of heartbroken to see that Avacyn was being reprinted, but not really being reprinted. I never got an Avacyn with the Avacyn block and a booster or anything like that. So I was excited to see that, but then she's not the same Avacyn. So
yeah, like they should have said, tap 2, target permanent becomes indestructible. Tap 7, all permanents you control become indestructible, and you take no damage this turn. Wow, suddenly she's really good.
The problem is we're comparing her to her old self, which is, even this as a new card, she's got a lot of power options.
She's right now on TCG. She is a 50-cent rare. So, but you know what? I will take that back. You're right. She could, because if you're facing a red deck and they're trying to pop other stuff, she has 4 toughness, so she's probably going to live from a red card. But your other creatures might not.
Especially with Lithium Mortars cycling out.
Yeah. So that's a good point.
A good uncommon card. Again, we saw a cycle of these. Dauntless River Marsh. He's a white card, but he's paired with a ally color for blue. And there's 5 different colors are each paired with an ally color, and I think it's reverse of the wheel. If you know the wheel, look up the wheel. But, so this has some good play in it, and then it gets +1/+1. All the creatures do get +1/+1 if you have a basic land of the shared ally color. Now this one, I'm curious to see what your thoughts are on this one. Life's Legacy. It's a 2-drop green card. As an additional cost to cast Life's Legacy, sacrifice a creature. Draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power.
So the first time I saw this card, I immediately thought the Sacrificial Altar card, which is a black instant that does the exact same thing except you only draw 2 cards, no matter what the creature's power is. So this is a sorcery speed. I think it can be really good. You have something that you want to recycle, like the 7/2 guy that comes back in your next turn. I mean, you sacrifice him, draw 7 cards, next turn you get him back.
That's true.
That's pretty good.
The other thing is, it's nice to see green getting some love for card draw.
Yeah, I think they've been missing that for a while. It's been mostly blue.
Black has options.
Yeah, they've been giving black quite a few options.
And then red even has options, although typically you have to discard a card, but if you're a red player, that's kind of up your alley anyway.
Yeah, you want the choices. You want to be able to choose which burn card you're going to play on your opponent next. But I know a lot of the red tournament decks right now haven't been don't really need it. So that just goes to show. They brought back Tormo's Crypt, which is a classic card. Zero drop, tap, sack, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. So you're going to be seeing that in some sideboards again, I'm sure. And then for my rare, it's Cool Sadist. So 1-drop, 1/1 human assassin. That's tap a swamp, pay 1 life, put a +1/+1 counter on her, and you can tap 3, tap, remove X, +1/+1 to have it deal X damage to target creature. What do you think about that?
She's open up to a lot of attacks from certain players. So, she's easy to do exile for white. If she's tapped, it should be easy to remove for black for certain cards. And I'm only thinking about the common cards that you would be getting in a limited format.
Yeah.
But if you can get her to get up to a certain point, she'll have protection mostly from red. And then even with the, if you can get her second ability to go off.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, so even as a targeting ability for the second ability, and even a sacrificer in doing so, might work.
And there's a lot of cards still in Ravnica block that just add +1/+1 counters to creatures, and I know there's a lot in the Zeros block too, like the what do you call them? Picking +1/+1 every time they attack. The hero trials, the quest thing.
Or the ordeals.
Ordeals. Clean up every word but ordeal.
I know, which is why I was a little off base with you.
So yeah, so you can drop her next turn, put an ordeal on her attack.
Now, if you're still loving the enchantments in general from Theros, this is a good one, I think. Invisibility, 2 blue mana, enchant creature can't be blocked except by walls. Now, if you notice that a lot of common cards and uncommon cards in this set are relating to walls. Even the Siege Dragon will destroy walls. So I'm wondering if walls are going to be a big thing for coming sets, blocks.
Oh, it might be. I mean, we're dealing with clans and war, so it could be. And speaking of commons to bring up, here's another blue common. Void Snare. It's a blue drop sorcery. Says return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Just for 1.
I would love to see a Void Snail.
Yeah, I would too. Unhinged 2.0, anyone?
Now here's a good one. Chief Engineer, 2 mana, artifact spells you cast half combo. And again, I already said that I love the combo ability.
He's
so
really good.
If you can get him, going off with a lot of, and there's the new Phyrexia Soul. So having a 6 mana with combo, you can get around a lot sooner.
That's true, and that he really does inspire people to go back and build artifact decks. I got another aggressive mining, so
it's really aggressive.
It is aggressive. If I see a third one, might have to call it something else. Let's see, Meteorite. I just love the flavor of this card. It's not that great, but it's just hilarious. So it enters the battlefield, deals 2 damage to target creature or player, and then you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So literally the flavor is a giant meteorite fell from the sky, crushed something, and well, the guy's lost. Let's just use it for its resources.
I got Polymorphous Jest, younger brother, turned to frog.
Oh, that's the card. We can't think of the name.
Target a single creature. Obnixilus Unshackled is a legendary demon for black. Flying trample. Whenever an opponent searches his or her library, that player sacrifices a creature and loses 10 life. So that's definitely going to put a shackle on blue.
Yeah. That card is, well, and that also hurts what we just talked about, Court of Calling.
Sure.
A lot of stuff like that. That's a really good card. I got Genesis Hydra. It's another Hydra creature, and when he enters the battlefield, you reveal the top X. Oh no, when you cast him, even better. When you cast him, you reveal the X cards from your top of your library, where X is the amount you pay to play him, and you may put a non-land permanent card with converted mana cards of X or less from among them into the battlefield. He also enters the battlefield with X plus 1 plus 1 counters. This one was designed by George Fan. Kudos to you, George. Thank you. You guys.
Looking through. There's some fun tricks in here. Titanic Growth,
Yeah.
2 mana for an instant target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn.
And
That'd be
that's
good.
an instant. Yeah,
Instant.
that's going to be really good for drafting.
Instant return target creature you control and target creature you don't control to their owner's hands. That's good for attacking and blocking.
Yeah, bouncing strategies, things that give you bonus whenever they enter the battlefield. That's going to be really nice.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is one you kind of had mixed feelings about. Hushwing Griff.
Yeah.
3 mana. Hippogriff creature. Flash, flying, and when creatures enter the battlefield, creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger.
So what you're going to see is, the reason I had mixed feelings about that one is that it's white, and there's some white creatures, soldier creatures in this set that have abilities when they come into the battlefield, they activate. So he seems kind of counterproductive, but he's probably going to be a really good sideboard card.
And if you look at it from the modern and legacy standpoints, there's some good cards that have adverse effects for you as the controller. That if you have that out on the field, and then you can play those cards without having to worry about them.
That's true. So that's a good point.
The Pit Dweller from the Innistrad block.
Yeah.
I think Pit Dweller was something in his name. But when he enters the battlefield, initially he's yours for like 4/3, and then when he dies, he has Undying. But when he returns to the battlefield, he goes to your opponents. That would stop that from happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But that's definitely a possibility. That's something to look up. Because that'd be a really cool ability. Because, yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's just a 2-drop 4/3 with Undying.
And actually, not to be shady, but I got that off the Magic's website, so it works.
There you go. Mass, what do you call it?
Calcify.
Calcify. Because they all had too much salt, I guess. Destroy all non-white creatures for 7. That's it. Just a sorcery. The dead serve as their own tombstones.
If you're playing white, good for you.
Yeah.
Wish it had combo.
What?
I wish it had combo.
Oh, yeah, that would have had combo. Then that way you can kill all your creatures and be so much more impressive. What's up, though?
You got 2 different blue cards in here to let you draw a card. Always nice. Another Venom Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have Death Touch. So again, and it's only a 2-drop for a green. Another good Sliver creature.
Because they went deadly enough.
Yeah. This is our first one, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
First Planeswalker of the box, we have Chandra, Pyromancer. She's actually reprint from M14, but I'm okay with that, because I think she has some great abilities for red.
Yeah, I actually just saw on Wednesday tournament at 5:30, 5 LNG, you get a free boost effect just for signing up. There was someone who was playing Chandra's for them in his deck, and he literally had the Chandra artifact in the field, 5-drop artifact that boosts her ability to...
Gauntlets?
Yeah, the gauntlets.
Yep.
And so he would go zap you for 3, and then you would sacrifice his Chandra to play another one, zap you for 3, and his opponent kept attacking him. He kept trying to stay alive. But he just kept zapping him with Chandra's, brought back Chandra's Phoenix, and he brought his opponent down from 13 to nothing, even though his opponent had all the mana in the world. I mean, this guy was playing it with an expensive deck. He had all the Shocklands, all the Scrylands going. He had Planeswalkers of his own going, and the guy just wasn't letting up. And he just kept zapping him and zapping him. And then finally, at the very end, when the Chandra was finally about to die, he zaps him one more time, and then he sacrifices the Chandra for another Chandra. And he won. It was pretty impressive.
He did it, Garuk.
He did.
What do you think? Chandra is dateable?
Well, I think that was the Chandra from M14 that became worth a lot of money, wasn't it?
No, I mean, would you want to date Chandra?
Or would I want to date Chandra? To be honest, I'm more of a Liliana fan.
Dark.
Shield of the Avatar. I thought this card was interesting. It's a 1-drop artifact equipment. If a source would deal damage to the equipped creature, prevent X of that damage, where X is the number of creatures you control. And then it has an equipment of 2. So, you equip it, it can reduce all damage by 1 instantly. Kind of like called a damage resistance of 1 for those of you who play role-playing games. What did you get?
A good uncommon card, Overwhelm. It's 7 mana, but it has combo, and creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn. So depending on your board state, if you've got different mana-producing creatures out there for 1 or 2, or
Yeah.
even the plant creature that can't attack, the defender, you can turn those to play this down faster.
Yep. And you can use tokens for the convoke, and so that way, if you have like 10 creatures out on the field, tap 5 of them. You're only tapping 2, and then the other 5 get plus huge, plus huge.
I got another soul. This is Soul of Innistrad for black. It's 6 converter mana cost again, but it has Death Touch. It's a 6/6 creature, and then for 5 mana I can return up to 3 target creature cards from my graveyard to my hand. Or if it's in my grave card, I can exile it and do the exact same thing. I think this plays well into black, and I'm hoping to be able to play it at least a little bit in standard. Maybe not fully rely on it, but I think it has some good value.
Yeah, I like the flavor of it because I've actually built a rooftop storm deck. If you don't know what that is, I'd look it up. But basically, it was all about getting a bunch of zombies from my graveyard and to my hand. So Soul of Innistrad would fit perfectly. So that's pretty good. Let's see what I got this time. Do I get a mythic? Oh, I got a one of the dual lands. Yeah, the ping land. Shivan Reef. It's a non-basic land that you can tap for 1 colorless mana, or you can tap it for a blue or red. But if you do, it deals you 1 damage. So this is what's going to be replacing the Scry lands when they rotate out. I mean the shock lands when they rotate out. So how playable do you think these versions of dual color lands are going to come into play?
I have mixed feelings about it. I know that with our last block out there for Journey into Nyx, we had Mana Confluence, which basically had very similar wording. You can tap it for any color mana and it does 1 damage to you. They brought that into line with these Pain Lands or Ritual Reprints. So initially for the next block coming out, I was kind of expecting it to be the triple color lands, similar to what we had for June and the other colors like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking that we're actually going to see, because if I'm not mistaken, these are going to be the enemy color lands. So I'm wondering if we're going to get pain lands that are actually ally colors.
Yeah, I know in M12 they printed, I think they were the allied colors versions, those blue, black, things like that. And oh, I'm sorry, no, those were different. Those were they come into play on tap if you control a land of that color.
So
right, so these are a little bit different.
I don't think that those actually have the allied colors out there yet. So I'm curious to see what comes out in the next block for
for the
Sarkhan Bowls.
Yeah, the what is it called? The War of the Clans.
Yeah.
The clans. Yeah. This is I also pulled the foil staff of the Flame Magus. Yay.
Yay. This is a card, I'll be honest with you. Since we started opening this box, this is the card I've been looking for. And I'm glad that I finally got it before Steven. This is Soul Artifact. It's only 2 mana. It is an enchantment aura, and you attach it to an artifact, and that artifact becomes a 5/5 in addition to its other types. So, what you need to keep in mind is Ornithopters out there. We've also got the land artifact that's out there.
Yeah.
We've also got, there are so many different artifacts that we've come across that are low costing. So if you're doing limited or sealed play of any kind, and you see this card, grab it.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good one.
That we were actually on we actually got to be on a team and during the pre-release event, and
which we won.
Yeah, we got first.
No big deal.
And yeah, it was we actually built my deck around the artifacts and white, but I also splashed in some blue, and that included that card, and it was really helpful. It was really nice to make something like an ornithopter into a huge threat with flying.
In 2-3 turns.
Yeah.
My rare is a 2-drop artifact, which again, even for an artifact, if you got into an artifact. Grind Clock. Put a charge counter on Grind Clock, and then if you tap it, target player puts the top X cards in his or her library and his or her graveyard, where X is the number of charge counters on the Grind Clock. So, if you're one of those mean people that likes to just make the opponent just
slowly grind them away. Yeah, and to most people, it might seem slow for most mill decks, but it's really flavorful because that reminds me of all the charge counter theme cards they put back in the Mirrodin block. So, or in this case, the new Phyrexia block. So that was, or Scars of Mirrodin. That was really cool to see. So I was happy with that card. I have Kalog. Why do I keep getting all these hard to pronounce names? Kalongan Twingrove.
Close enough.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with Giant Int. It's a Tree Folk Warrior, 6-drop, and his power toughness is equal to number 4 you control. And when he enters the battlefield, you get a copy of him. So, without the copying ability, of course. So, otherwise I'd create an infinite loop. But that's a really good card for the Sealed Flame.
If you want to talk about good flavor text, I love this one. The Goblin Kaboomist. Essentially, every turn on your upkeep, you get to put down a token mine, and then if your opponent attacks you, you can pay 1 red mana to do 2 damage to the attacking creature. The flip side is, if after you do that 2 damage, you have to flip a coin for each time you set off a landmine, and if you lose the coin toss, then the Goblin Kaboomist dies himself, which, goblins.
And that was actually designed by someone else too. That was designed by Stone Lebrand. So that was actually a really good card. That was fun. And I actually have a really old casual deck that deals with coin flips. And you win if you win 10 coin flips while this enchantment's on the field, you win the game. So that's going to work out really nicely for that deck. Resolute Archangel. 7-drop Angel flying when into the battlefield. Your life total becomes equal to your starting life total, if your life total is less than your starting. So 4/4 flying, recover a creature, which is
good
cool.
for 2-headed giant, good for limited.
Really good for 2-headed giant.
This is another one I was looking for, and again, I'm glad I got it because Steven didn't. With everything we've been talking about with 6 planeswalkers, this is going to be huge.
Oh.
The Chain Veil. First of all, if you've been following Garuk's story at all, you know how important this is for both him and Liliana. But basically what this does is, as long as you're playing with planeswalkers, if you have this artifact out on the field, it lets you do a planeswalker ability, and then do another planeswalker ability for the same planeswalker. For certain people who like to play with multiple planeswalkers in their deck, the Chain Veil is going to be a huge card for you.
Yeah, this card is going to be sweet. So, there's a reason why they made it a mythic rare, and it is very, very flavorful with the storyline, because this is the veil that Liliana was hunting after, and Garuk tried to stop her along the way, but he got cursed.
And it's basically what allowed Liliana to curse him. So
we got 2 more packs to open. So
what are we looking at? We got a couple of souls.
Yeah.
We got a good artifact. We got at least 1 planeswalker.
Yeah, I pulled. The only mythic rare I pulled, I think you got most of them, was Soul of Zendikar. Yeah. And you got Liliana's Veil, you got Soul of Innistrad, and Chandra.
Are there any cards you're hoping? What one would you want to be in there?
What I want to see is a misprint pack with all foiled Garuks. Okay, so realistically,
why not?
what I hope for is what a card I was really hoping for was for a Johnny out of the set. He works really well with my deck, so I'd really like to see a foiled version of him. So I haven't seen a foiled version of him yet. That'd be really nice.
Did we get a foil rare?
Yeah, we did. We got the clearly wasn't a rare we were really hunting for, because I quite the life of me, I can't remember. So.
I'll be honest, all the cards that I've been looking for, Spirit Bonds, I ended up opening. Chandra, as a reprint, I'm happy to get her. The Chain Veil, those were cards I was looking for, so I'm just curious to see what I got.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Whoa, did you hear something?
No, I think we're fine.
Oh, okay. Come on, foil a Johnny. Foil a Johnny. Oh, come on. Alright, well, not too bad. Scuttling Doom Engine. So, artifact construct, 6 drop. It can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. And when it dies, it deals 6 damage to target opponent, and it's a 6/6. That's really funny.
Again, put that with the chief engineer and you got something.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you do.
I got a Johnny.
Did you really?
Example.
That was just to mock me.
No, actually, ending things on a high note for myself, because, why not? Soul of Theros, white soul avatar, again, the mythic rare for the souls that we're looking for. He's got vigilance, and again, same thing as the Soul of Innistrad and the other souls we talked about. He's a 6 mana, but +2/+2 first strike lifelink. And for our limited play last week, this definitely helped us out.
Oh my gosh. This card is such a game changer. Okay, so he costs 6 mana to cast his first ability, but to give all your creatures +2/+2 first strike and lifelink until end of turn, and then you can do it again after he dies, and he's already a 6/6 with vigilance.
Vigilance. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, and he affects himself as well, so he becomes an 8/8. I mean, it's really good.
As a player who loves white, he's exactly what I wanted him to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, and especially with the soldier themes and the theme with getting out a whole bunch of token creatures, he's going to be really nice.
So, with this set, a lot of good things to look out for. You've got 6 different planeswalkers to watch out for, 6 different souls to watch out for.
Yeah.
Other good mythic rares, the Chain Veil. I'm excited to see that in some play.
Now, out of all these cards, which one do you think is going to go up the most from where it is right now? And right now, all of them are pretty low, so this is a good time to buy the set and while you can.
I see a lot of different possibilities for a lot of different cards in front of me right now. I can tell you that for mythic rare, the Soul of Theros in particular, I can see going up, but I think all the souls, once people really start playing with them and seeing their possibility, are going to be quite happy with them.
Yeah.
I can see those going up a bit. Spirit Bonds, again, leaning towards the white, is going to definitely be a good game changer if you play it right. But then looking at some of the other colors, the Chief Engineer, I think there's going to be a lot of possibilities with a lot of different artifacts in this set. And I'm curious to see what the next box is going to have.
Yeah, I mean, and you got a great point. Chief Engineer, he's a 1/3 as well, so he can't just be popped with a shock. And then, yeah, the Spirit Bonds, really combo-ish with Soul of Theros and many of the other white cards out there, a lot of the Convoke. I'm personally seeing Hornet's Nest going up a lot. I think that card's going to be surprisingly good. I think it's going to be kind of like how
Lifebane Zombie.
Lifebane Zombie, thank you. Lifebane Zombie. Those types of cards that they released in M14, I think its price is going to be very similar to that. And yeah, I think this can hold a lot of promise, and especially going to be fun to draft with. That was a lot of fun to play in the pre-release event.
Which, every time, Collector Store has pre-release events, so don't forget to look for those for future sets. But we're curious to know what your thoughts are. What's your favorite card? What kind of combinations are you seeing? What are you looking forward to playing to in this set? Leave it below in the comments. We're excited to see what you got.
Yeah, post any awesome polls that you might have gotten, and post any of your tournament results. There's a lot of good gameplays out there. And I know we're actually holding a draft of our own at the Collector Store. We're going to be doing that on Saturday mornings, starting at 9:30, 10 o'clock. We're pretty casual about getting people in. And again, this set's going to be a lot of fun. So again, if you're in the St. Charles, St. Louis area, come on by. Swing by. We have the lowest set prices. I'll be doing a box review of the prices at the end so you guys can see how much value we actually pulled out of this. And I mean, I'm surprisingly thrilled to see Court of Calling, actually. That's just a rare. And to see that come back, that's going to be really cool.
Well, like Steven said, if you're in the St. Louis area, feel free to stop by the store. $89.99 right now for a box. But for those of you out of state, feel free to check us out online. $89.99 online as well. A lot of good opportunities for this box. We didn't meet Garrick this time, but hopefully we'll be seeing him soon. So
yeah, I'm kind of disappointed we didn't see him.
Yeah, I'm so close, but next time maybe.
Maybe. So anyway, that's it, and I think it's time to go play some more Magic.
Sounds good.